Hello, people out here, can you all hear me? Give me a heads up, people out here, can you all hear me? If you can listen to me, if you can see the presentation, give me a heads up. I will quickly begin with the session. It's going to be a fun session. The objective for today's session is we'll see all the important and the previous questions of the section of geometry, and we'll see what is the easiest way of solving these questions, what are the types of question which usually comes in this section, and how to tackle the difficult and the technical pattern based questions which usually every time comes in the given management examination. All right, let's quickly wait for some more, a couple of minutes more so that other people can also be here, and we'll quickly begin with the session then. Okay. In the meantime, people who are live, if you can help me out with any questions which you have in your mind, which you want me to cover up in today's webinar, um, and I'll make sure that I answer all your questions also. I'll give you some strategy tips for preparation for CAT 2020. 2 months is everything for the given examination, what needs to be done and how it needs to be done. The level of difficulty and the intensity of the question we can discuss upon, and what you can expect in the paper of 2020. Okay. The date of the exam has been freezed. This is 29th of November. The only thing which is going to happen now is the change in pattern. Okay, as all of you know. So it's not going to be a technical 3 hours cumbersome paper. It's going to be only for 2 hours. Technically here, the number of questions obviously will not be in the shape to tell you about the actual proportion of question which is going to be coming in the paper. But yes, it's going to be less. But the intensity of the question is going to be going up. If the difficulty level of the paper per section per question is going to go up, it's extremely crucial for us to actually work a lot on the accuracy part, a lot and a lot on the accuracy part. So your accuracy rate, so people who are expecting their score to be above 95 percentile should be in the range of around 75 percentage and above. And people who are expecting 99 percentile plus in the paper, their accuracy rate should be more than 85 percentage for sure. Given the score, the score is going to be dependent on the number of questions as a function. Let the IIM Indore conveyor come up with the kind of pattern of question that they are coming up with, which is the difficulty level and the proportion of questions in each section. We can then get a fair idea about the rough percentage of marks that you need to get the same percentile which we were expecting in the last year. Okay. Quickly, if all of you are ready, let me know. Shall we begin with the session for today? The objective for today's session is simple. We'll see all the important types of question which usually comes in the management exam of CAT, and the objective for today is to solve CAT questions by Symmetry. I repeat, we will solve questions which are technically based on CAT questions. We'll see the content of CAT geometry question, but we'll see symmetry based questions and the pattern based questions. And if given more time, if we can solve one of those questions, it's going to be good for you to learn something in today's session. All right, on this note, let's start with the first question. So I have taken three variety of topics. I repeat, I have taken three variety of topics for today. One, we'll spend some time on discussing the triangle feasibility of the questions. How many, that kind of question that you can expect from the paper would be how many such triangles are possible and what kind of triangle are possible. That's one. Second, we'll also see questions which are based on technically only and only on one concept, which is right angle triangle, which is Pythagoras triplet. And the third and the most important variety of the question that we'll see in the end will be all the questions which are polygon in the polygon. Either you will see questions which are circle in the polygon, or you will see polygon inside a polygon. These are three variety of questions that we'll cover. To start with the first variety of the question, that we'll see four, five good questions of each variety. The first kind of question that we are discussing here is basically on triangle feasibility. And as said, the kind of question that you can expect in the paper would be a certain sum will be given to you, and the question would be either to find the number of such triangles which are possible, or to find the kind of triangles which are possible. Okay. They're the only two properties on which a triangle will be based on. The only two properties on which the entire lot of questions, I repeat, the entire lot of questions can be solved which are based technically on a triangle feasibility. And that is one, that so let's say A, B, and C. I repeat, A, B, and C are the three sides. I repeat, A, B, and C are the three sides of a triangle. I repeat, if A, B, and C are the three sides of a triangle, then the only property that you need to work on would be the sum of two sides should be more than the third side, which is ideally A plus B should be more than C. And A and B could be any of these. Okay, it is not the case the first two value, the second and the third value, or the first and the third value. Any of this we can consider. And the second property that you have to work on would be the difference of the sides. I repeat, the difference of the sides should be less than the third side, which is A minus B should be less than C. The only two properties which you should know would be the sum of two sides should be more than the third side, and second, which is the difference of two sides should be less than the third side. That's the common general property of all the triangle based questions that you may face in the given section of geometry question. And the second kind of question which we are talking about is what kind of triangle. We know there's acute angle triangle, there's a right angle triangle, and there's an obtuse angle triangle, right? Right angle triangle, we know a square plus b square will be equal to c square. This is a property of a right angle triangle. If it is an obtuse triangle, then a square plus b square will be less than c square. That's what you can consider. If it is an acute triangle, then a square plus b square will be more than c square. These are the only variety of properties that you should know, 1, 2, and 3, on the basis of which you will be able to solve all the technical questions which you may face in the given examination, which you may see in the given paper also. Okay, to start off with, let's see the first question. Let's see the first question. Let me know if all of you can see the question here. Let me know if all of you can see the question here. Okay, so the question says A, B, C are integers. A, B, C are the integral sides of a triangle X, Y, Z, such that X into Z, which are the two sides, I repeat, which are the two sides, which is X into Z will be equal to 12. And the question is simple. How many triangles are possible? The questions are now simple. The questions are how many sides are possible? How many sides are possible? We know the third side, which is Y, is not known to us. Y is not known to us. But technically, if so, and it has been said they are the integral sides, right? So how many ways can you write 12? There are only three ways, right? One is 1 into 12, second is 2 into 6, and next is 4 into 3. I repeat, these are the only three combinations. I repeat, these are the only three combinations of sets which are possible. Among the given set of values, let's say if the first set of values of x and y is, for example, let's say 4 comma 3 are the values of 4 comma 3, and let's see how many values are possible distinctly for z. We know x plus y should be more than z and x minus y should be less than z. This is the only combination that you have to look into. So x plus y, what we are looking is 4 plus 3 is 7. So ideally we are looking for a set of values which are less than 7, and here 4 minus 3 is 1, so the third side should be more than 1. The third side should be more than 1. So we are looking at all the set of values which are between 1 and 6. So which all values of z can be possible here? So we'll say 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I repeat, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are the set of values which are possible here, right? Which if I take the first set, which is 4 and 3. Similarly, if I take the set which is 2 and 6. If I take the set of 2 and 6, again we have to consider x plus y should be more than z, x minus y should be less than z. 2 plus 6 is 8, so we are looking at all the set of values which are less than 8. And 2 minus 6. 2 minus 6 is how much? 2 minus 6 is 4. And we are looking at all the set of values which are between 4 and 8. Should be more than 4, less than 8. How many values are possible here? Quickly. 5 is possible, 6 is possible, 7 is possible. And let's see the third set. The third set says where the values are 1 comma 12. 1 comma 12. So 1 plus 12, I repeat, 1 plus 12 is 13. So we are looking at a set of value which is less than 13. And 12 minus 1 is 11. So we are looking at a value which is more than 11. Between 11 and 13, there's only one value possible, which is 12. And these are the only combination of numbers which are possible for us very easily, very beautifully on the basis of only two properties. Very well, we are in a shape to solve all the questions really well. With 4 and 3, how many triangles are possible? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is possible here. 3 is possible here. 1 is possible, which is 1, 12, and 12 is the only set which is possible. So what is the answer which you guys will mark? Come on. What answer you guys will mark? How many such triangles are possible? 5, 3, and 1, and the answer for the given set should be equal to 9. And the answer for the given set should be equal to 9, which is C. So x into z, this was the only condition which was given to us. X into z is equal to 12. How many ways in which you can write 12 is 1, 12, 2, 6, and 4, 3. The only thing that I have to look into, is what? If x and z is available, what is the possible value of y? What is the possible value of y? Sum of two sides more than third side, difference of two sides less than third side. That's it. The only two properties which will help you out to crack this question is this much. And believe me, this is not the only question. Dozens of questions which are on the basis of the same lines will use simple properties like this, and we will be able to solve the question. Let's check the next set of question here. Here, the question says x, y, and z are integers of the side of the obtuse angle triangle. So we have two things. One, it has to be a triangle. Second, it also has to be an obtuse angle triangle. For triangle, there are only two things: a plus b more than c, a minus b less than c. And yes, for your obtuse angle triangle, what the only thing that you have to look into is a square plus b square should be less than c square. The third side square should be more than equal to a square and b square. If it becomes equal, it's a right angle triangle. So we are looking at a degree which is more than 90. That's it. Okay. Irrespective of whether it is obtuse or not, isko hata do. Let's consider only xy. Let's consider only xy as 4. Tell me how many values are possible for x and y. Quickly tell me how many values are possible for x and y. How many values are possible for x and y? There's 1 and 4 which is possible, and 2 and 2 which is possible. There's no other case which is possible, right? Let's take 2 and 2. If x and y is 2 and 2, what is z? So we are seeing x plus y more than z, x minus y less than z. So 2 plus 2 is 4. So we are looking at a set of value which is less than 4, and 2 minus 2 is 0, looking at more than 0. So between 0 and 4, how many values are possible? 1 is possible, 2 is possible, and 3 is possible. There are only 3 values possible. With 4 and 1, how many values are possible? Again, 4 plus 1 is 5, so we are looking at less than 5. 4 minus 1 is 3, we are looking at more than 3. Between 3 and 5, how many values are possible? Between 4 and 1, 3 and 5, how many values are possible? Only 1 value is possible, right? So the kind of cases that we are looking at is 4, 1, 4. If I pen down, it's 4, 1, 4, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, and 2, 2, 3. That's it. The maximum number of cases is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now the only thing that you have to work on, is I have to consider right angle triangle. I have to consider right angle triangle. Right angle triangle में देखो पहली बात तो 2 to 2 is gone out because 2 to 2 is an equilateral triangle, right? This is gone out. ये तो हट गया. Tell me how many of these will satisfy c square to be more than a square plus b square. Tell me how many of these three, 4, 1, 4, 2, 2, 1, and 2, 2, 3 will satisfy it to be just an obtuse angle triangle. That's it. Nothing more or less I'm expecting all of you. People out here, now the question has become silly, now the question has become simple. So c square should be more than a square plus b square. That's the only condition that we are looking at. Tell me, in the comment box, I want answer from all of you. In the comment box, Sarat, the only thing that I'm looking at now it to be, so I know there are 4 triangles possible. 2, 2, 2 is an equilateral triangle, right? That's gone out. So out of 3, how many obtuse angle triangle is possible? Obtuse के लिए क्या करना है तुमको? A square plus B square should be less than 3 square. Come on, quickly. Expecting answer from all of you. There's only one set which is possible, and the set is 2, 2, 3. So 2 square cannot be more than 2 square plus 1 square. 4 square cannot be more than 4 square plus 1 square. And the answer for the given question would be equal to 1. And the answer for the given question would be equal to 1. And which is the case? The case is 2, 2, and 3. Perfect. All of you are perfect. All of you are damn perfect. I'm happy to see the progress which you guys are making. So the only thing that we have to work on is the response time. You see the question, you work around on the same phenomenon of which is being taught to you, and you tell me the answer as quickly as possible. Is the concept clear to all of you? On the same lines, let's see a 2008 actual question. On the same lines, now let's see a 2008 actual question. Now the question is, consider obtuse angle triangle. Obtuse again means a square plus b square should be less than c square. That's the only case possible. Triangle के लिए दो ही condition है. Sum of two sides more than the third side, difference of two sides less than the third side. That's it. The only and only two cases which we will consider. And the question is, consider obtuse angle triangle with 8, 15 and x to the sides. And the question is, if x is an integer, how many such triangles are possible? How many such triangles are possible? We know if c square is more than a square and b square, c is of the maximum length. C is going to be, I repeat, C is going to be of the maximum length, right? If C is going to be of the maximum length, so देखो दो case possible है. या तो if I assume x is the maximum length, या तो if I consider 8, x and 15, 15 to be the maximum length. These are the only two cases possible. Let me term this as case number 1 and case number 2. In case number 1, 8, 15 and x is the maximum length, right? एक सिंपल सा क्वेश्चन पूछता हूँ. पाइथागोरस ट्रिपलेट जिसने जिसने याद किया हुआ है, 8, 15 के साथ कौन सी वैल्यू आती है पाइथागोरस ट्रिपलेट की? 8, 15. What is the value which comes in the set of a Pythagoras triplet with 8, 15? With 8, 15, what is the next value which comes up? If you know, the value is 17. Now 8, 15 and 17 is going to be 8, 15 and 17 is going to be a right angle triangle. 8, 15 and 17 is going to be a right angle triangle, right? That's the first case that we are considering. We want more than 90. We want more than 90. So we are looking at a value which is more than 17. But the sum of two sides should be more than the third side, right? Perfect. So 8 plus 15 is 23. We are looking at something which is more than 17 and less than 23. So how many values are possible? Quickly. 18 is possible, 19 is possible, 20 is possible, 21 is possible, 22 is possible. So how many values are possible? So 5 obtuse angle triangle. I repeat, 5 obtuse angle triangles are possible in this case. Very easily you can mark this. And let's consider the second case. Let's consider the second case, 8, x and 15. 15 is the maximum side. So in this case, 8 square plus x square will be less than 15 square. That is the only case which you will do. 64 plus x square is less than 225. So x square should be less than which value? It's 225 minus 64. What is 225 minus 64? What is the value of x which is possible? Tell me quickly. Tell me quickly. What is the value of x that we will get here? What should be the integral value of x that we should consider here? We are looking at x square to be 225 minus 64. Perfect. So it should be 61. X square will be 161. 169 is 13 square. So we are looking at a set of value which is less than 12. Right? Perfect. So you got the set of value which is less than 12. I know the upper limit is 12. But again, the difference of the values, the difference of two values should be less than the third value. Tell me how many values will be possible here. I know the maximum value which is going to be possible here is going to be 11. The maximum value which is going to be possible here is 11. And the other set of values, what is going to be possible? The sum of two sides. The sum of two sides should be more than the third side. And the difference of two sides should be less than the third side. The only two conditions that you have to work on. Expecting answer from all of you. Yes. Siva, Debagra, Sheikh. I can see Sarat, Princeton, Sai, Atharva, Amol, Anmol. Everyone out here, can I expect an answer from you this time? Can I expect answers out of you? How many values are possible in case number 2? How many values are possible here? And which all values are possible here? You are saying 7 values are possible. Others? Anmol is saying 2. Everyone out here, how many values are possible here? I got one right answer. I can see answers from majority of you. I'm happy to see the progress. But yes, more number of people are yet to give the answer. 11 के साथ साथ, so it's 12 point something, so 12 will also come. The set of values which is going to be possible here is going to be 8, 9, 10, and 11 and 12. These are the values which are possible. Now 8 plus 7 is 15. I want sum of two sides should be more than the third side. So the first value of x itself is going to start from 8. So we are looking at all the values from 8 to 12. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There are 5 values possible here, and there are 5 values possible here. Good, Sarath. And the answer which you will mark this time is going to be 10. And the answer for the given question which you will mark this time is going to be simply 5 plus 5, which is equal to 10. Very good. I hope all of you are on the same page. I hope all of you have understood the concept. If there's any difficulty in understanding the concept, please let me know so that I can redo it for you, guys. 2 months from now, you will see the kind of questions which are basically on the same lines. The texture, the format, the conditioning would be different, but the format is going to be exactly same. These are simple properties and fundamentals on which your geometry triangle-based questions will be based on. If you know this, very well will be in the shape to crack the given exam of CAT with a decent good percentile in the given examination. All right. Okay. I hope this is clear to all of you. Now let's see questions which are based on Pythagoras triplet. Now again, let's see questions which are technically based on Pythagoras triplet. So the triplet values, the only and only condition that you should know, the only and only condition that you should know, should be well versed with, is the values of Pythagoras triplet. Is the value of जितने याद रखोगे उतना easy जाएगा, जितना याद कर सकते हो उतना याद करके जाओ. Because if there's a right angle triangle in the CAT examination, majority of times, more than 3 on the 4 questions, you will see the questions of the length of the given triangles will be of the numerical format of the Pythagoras triplet values. Let's see this question. It says the length of the ladder is exactly equal to the height of the wall it is resting against. I repeat, the length of the ladder, there's a ladder, there's a wall. The length of the ladder is exactly equal to the height of the wall on which it has been resting. If the lower end of the ladder is kept on the stool of height of 3 meter, the stool is kept at 9 meter away from the wall of the upper end of the ladder, coincides with the tip of the wall. It coincides with the tip of the wall. Then what is the height of the wall? The question is, find the height of the wall. I hope people who know the concept, if you can solve here, if you have seen this kind of questions in the MBAP live classes, let me know. If not, then let's solve it together. Then let's solve it together. This is the question. If you visualize the diagram, if you visualize the diagram, they are saying it's a stool. This is my stool on which the ladder has been resting on. The height of the stool is 3, and the distance between, this is my wall. This is my wall and this is my ladder. The distance between wall and ladder is 9. The distance between wall and ladder is going to be 9. And it has been said the height of the wall is as same as the length of the ladder. So if I consider the wall, the lower part is 3, so this part is going to be x. This part is going to be x. This part is going to be x, and this is x plus 3, and this part is x plus 3. All of you are good enough. So we will not solve the question by making it as a right angle triangle. Nothing to worry about. This is the value which is a Pythagoras triplet. So this is 3. 3 into 3 is going to come here. As simple as that. 3 into 3 is going to come here. So what is a Pythagoras triplet? Starting with 3. So 3 will come, 4 will come, 5 will come. Very simple. 3, 4 and 5 will come. Each of the value has been multiplied by 3. So this is 12 and this is 15. So the actual side says 9 is here, 12 is here and 15 is here. Right? And the question is simple. What is the height of the wall? Height of the wall is 12 here plus 3, which is 15, and you will mark 15 as the answer. As simple as that. As simple as that. You will not waste your time. As said, majority of the questions are based on Pythagoras triplet. The values are simple. It's the only thing is it's going to be a multiple of the triplet. So 3 into 3, 3 into 4, 3 into 5 are the only values which is possible. 3 into 3, 3 into 4, 3 into 5. And the question is being done. And the case has been taken care of really well. Is this clear? Let me know if you guys have solved this question. Let me know if you guys are ready. If you guys have understood, the only and only thing that you have to look into is what is the Pythagoras triplet that we are looking at. I repeat, what is the Pythagoras triplet that we are looking at? If we are looking at a value 3, 4 and 5, so 3 into 3, 3, 4 into 3 and 5 into 3. And the value is being done. 15 length is the ladder, 15 is the height of the wall. As same as that. As simple, as sorted we can be. Let's take one more question based on this. Now let's take one more question which is based on this. Again, you can see a geometrical shape. The question is find the value of x if the y has been given to you as 10. Y has been given to you as 10. Y is 10 and the question is x. But the only thing, the first thing that you have to look into is it a right angle triangle or no? The first thing that you have to look into is it a right angle triangle, yes or no? If yes, the only and the first thing that you have to look into is what are the Pythagoras triplet values which can satisfy the value, right? See which value can give you a Pythagoras triplet. This is 90 degree. I give it to you. You will take 5 seconds and I think the answer should be out. You will take only 5 seconds and I am sure the answer would be out. Which value will give you a Pythagoras triplet? So 10 minus 3 is 7. 10 plus 4 is 14. 7, 14 will not form a Pythagoras triplet. This is not going to be possible. If I take 12, 12 minus 3 is 8. 12 plus 4 is 16. Again, 8 and 16, double the value, not possible. 13 minus 3 is 10. 13 plus 4 is 17. 13 and 17 is also not going to be possible. And the next case that we are looking at is a value 11. Is a value 11. Gauri, in the previous question, the height, okay, so I'll tell you, the length of the wall is standard, wall is not moving, wall is standard, wall is of 15 meters. The 3 meters is covered with stool, and above that you basically would have the ladder. In this question, if I put 11, in this question, if I put the value 11, 11 minus 3 is 8, 11 plus 4 is 15. So 8 and 15, did you find any Pythagoras triplet? Did you find any Pythagoras triplet which is having values of 8 and 15? We just solved in the previous question. There is a Pythagoras triplet which has values of 8, 15 and 17, which came out using the value of B option, which is 11, which came out just by using the option B, which is 11. So 8, 15 is going to be possible here. Even if I consider the value of Y to be known to you, and very well you will be able to solve the questions. So this should also be a Pythagoras triplet, and yes, the whole value should also be a Pythagoras triplet. Very easy, nothing to worry about. The first thing is there a right angle triangle? If yes, the Pythagoras triplet values we have to look into. If two things can be looked into together, very well you'll be able to solve questions really very well. So as of now, we have seen two things. As of now, we have seen two things. One is a triangle feasibility based questions. Second is a kind of a question which was basically about the right angle triangle just by usage of the right angle triangle concept of Pythagoras triplet. The more you know, the better and the easier it would be for you to solve. स्पेशली हाइट्स एंड डिस्टेंसेस, अगर इसके ऊपर कोई क्वेश्चन आ गया, रेगो के क्वेश्चंस आ गए ज्योमेट्री में, तो उसमें पाइथागोरस ट्रिपलेट्स के क्वेश्चंस ही आते हैं हमेशा. क्लियर? एंड लेट्स सी द क्वेश्चन. Let's see the third variety. Let's see the third variety of questions. Let's see the third variety of questions, which are basically on polygons in a polygon. Okay. Now, polygons in a polygon are basically out of two types. I repeat, polygon inside a polygon are basically of two types. I hope all of you can see. I hope all of you can see the question really very well and the content too. The third question, the third variety of question that we are looking at is basically a question series which are based on polygons and circles. One variety where polygon is there inside a polygon, and second is polygon circumscribed or inscribed with a circle. Polygon. So let's see the first type. Let's see the first type, which is square inside a square. So okay, let's see. This is a square. Let's see the question type. Let me tell you the kind of question which you will see in the examination. The question says, let's say, the question is saying there's a square of side 10 centimeter, there's a square of side 10 centimeter each, and using the midpoint of the first external square, there's the first square. To name a few, I can write it down as ABCD. Using the midpoint, the question says using the midpoint of ABCD, you formed internal square which is EFGH, which is my second square, which is simply EFGH. Using the midpoint of EFGH, you form one more square which is IJKL. And the sequence goes on. Using the midpoint of third, you form fourth. Fourth to fifth, fifth to sixth, sixth to seventh, seventh to eighth. And goes on. There are infinite squares which are possible. There are infinite squares which are there. I repeat, there are infinite squares which are possible. So let's say this is a CAT 2020 question. Let's say this is a CAT 2020 question. The question to you is, find the ratio of area. Find the ratio of area of 2018 square versus 2020 square. The question to you is, find the ratio of 2018 square versus 2020 square. Let's say this is the question that we have got. Using the midpoint of the external square, you form one more internal square. Using the second internal square, you form third, third to fourth, fourth to fifth, fifth to sixth, till 2020 squares. Now it's redundant for you to actually solve the values till 2020 because none of us will be actually able to solve the question, right? But let's see if I have to find. Let's see if I have to find the ratio of first square versus second square, or let's say इसका reverse करके देखते हैं. 2020 square versus 2018 square. Let's say this is the question. 2018 square versus 2020 square versus 2018 square is the question. और अभी हम पहले जो क्वेश्चन कर रहे हैं वो है तुम्हारा find the ratio of the second square versus first square, right? मान लो we are not talking about the internal squares. We are just not talking about the internal squares. There are only two squares which are possible. The first question that we are doing is, this is the first square. Using the midpoint, you form the second square. Using the midpoint, you form the second square, right? And we are finding the second square versus the first square. Even if the length of the side is not being known to you, but if you use symmetry, technically here, if you divide the diagram into two halves, if you divide the diagram into two halves, you will say the left side will be as same as the right side. If you cut the diagram with a line parallel to the base, you will say the upper half is as same as the lower half. Now each of the internal sections looks equal in size. Let's see how many sub areas are available with the bigger square. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many is possible? 8 is possible. And the internal one, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Of the equal surrounding areas, the ratio is always half. Because any which way you are cutting the diagram from the midpoint. If you cut the diagram from the midpoint, it's going to be equally cut it into two equal halves. And there are two cuts which you're making. So still, the value is going to be 1 by 2. still the value is going to be 1 by 2. And what if you have to, let's say this is the first square, this is my second square, and let's say using this I have also got my third square. If I have to find third square versus first square, if I have to find a ratio, if I have to find a ratio of the third square versus the first square, in that case the first square is not required. The only case which is available here is what? Is the third square and the second square. Is the third square and the second square which is available, right? This is third square and this is the second square which is available here, right? Now if I rotate the diagram by 45-degree clockwise, if I rotate the diagram by 45-degree clockwise, you will see the kind of figure which you will get will be something like this. Will be something like this. Let me know if you are able to understand. If you rotate the diagram, so if you rotate around the same symmetry, you will get the same figure. Here the ratio was half, so here also the ratio will be equal to half. Turning it to clockwise, anti-clockwise by certain angle, which is more or less than 45, 60, 90, 180, whatsoever, is a story. But yes, the ratio of, so if I have to go back to the question that we are looking at, first square is 1, second is 1 by 2, third is 1 by 4, fourth is 1 by 8, next is 1 by 16, and it is just going on. It is just going on. The ratio of any two subsequent figures, the ratio of any two subsequent squares is always half, internal to external, right? So it's damn bullshit to find the values till 2020 because that is not required. Tell me how many triangles are there. Tell me how many triangles are there between 2018 and 20. There are two triangles, 2019 and 2020 itself. So the given question is as same as find the ratio of third versus first. Find the ratio of third versus first. So third versus first was basically 1, 1 by 2, 1 by 4. And the answer here would be 1 by 4. The answer here is 1 by 4. The answer here is 1 by 4. The answer of 2020 divided by 2019 square will be 1 by 2. Because we are looking at only two squares which are inscribed in each other. Clear? So polygon inside a polygon, I repeat, polygon inside a polygon, square inside a square. You rotate it clockwise, you rotate it anti-clockwise. So we can term the series to be half, 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 half. So if the area of the first square is 8, the second square automatically will be 4, 8. Next is 4, next is 2, next is 1, next is 1 by 2, next is 1 by 4. And the series goes on, and the series just goes on and on. I hope this is clear. I hope this is simple, right? I hope this is clear and I hope this is simple. Is this clear to all of you? I hope you have understood it really well. So even if you get the same question in 2020, you will be in a shape to solve the question really very well. And now, if I take another question, which is circle in a polygon, in a square. So I can see a square. In a square, you will see a circle. Circle can the square can the circle can the square, and the series just goes on. And the series just goes on. And the series just goes on. Let's see if we can identify a similar pattern. Let's see if you can identify a similar pattern which is based on this. Like in the first series, it's a geometric progression where the common ratio is half. Can we find a geometric progression with the same series of another series with the set of values of a square circle, square circle, square circle of the values that we have got? And is there any specific set patterns that we can find out? Let's look into it. Let's see the first circle. Let's see the first square. Let's actually say the side of the first square is 2. The side of the first square is 2. If the side of the first square is 2, then the ratio, then the area, we are looking at area. Then the area of the first square is going to be 4. Yes, all of you are with me. Then the area of the first square is side square, which is 2 square 4. The length of the side, the length of the square will be as same as the diameter of the circle. Will be as same as the diameter of the circle. If the diameter is 2, then the radius is 1. If the radius is 1, the first internal inscribed circle will have the total area of pi 1 square. So it's going to be 4 pi. So it's going to be how much? It is going to be how much? It's going to be 4 pi. It's going to be how much? It's going to be 4 pi, right? So the ratio of first square with fourth circle. I repeat, the ratio of first square versus fourth circle is nothing but 4 pi. It's nothing but how much? It's how much it is, 4 pi. Let's see the third square. For the third square, the diagonal of the square was as same as the diameter of the previous circle. The diameter of the previous circle was 2, and here the diagonal of the square, we are looking at the second internal square, is how much? If you look at this, the diagonal is 2. We know if the side is A, diagonal is given by A root 2. So A root 2 is 2. So the value of A, the side is root 2. If the side is root 2, the area is 2. The area is 2. It is as same as, again, if you rotate the figure by 45-degree clockwise, the figure which you will get, the first internal square will be this, will be simply this, which we have already covered. So square in a square, I repeat, square in a square is a geometric progression series which is 4, 2, 1, 1 by 2, 1 by 4, going on. So it was 4, so the next would be 2. So the next would be 2. Similarly, if you know this this side is root 2. This side is root 2, so this diameter is going to be root 2. If you do this, you get the area of the next internal circle as pi by 2. So there are two series which are going on. I repeat, there are two series which is going on. The square which is going at 4, 2, 1, 1 by 2, 1 by 4. The circle which is going at pi, pi by 2, pi by 4, pi by 8 going on. And yes, the subsequent square, circle, square, circle, square, circle will show you a series which is as same as 4, pi, 2, pi by 2, 1 going on. This is the series that we are looking at. So you can term the series as 4 pi 2 series. You can term the series as 4 pi 2 series. So square, then circle, then square, then circle, then square, then circle will have the ratio of area. The ratio of area will be 4 pi 2 going on. 4 pi 2, pi by 2, 1, pi by 4, 1 by 2 going on. These are the only two series which is possible. These are the only two series which is possible. So we are naming the series as 4 by 2 series. Let's look at the first question. The question that you can see here is basically 2012 question. Read a question. By reading the question, you will get the sense. By reading the question, you will get the sense. By getting the sense very quickly, you will be able to get the answer as quickly as possible. The figure below shows two concentric circles with the center O. PQRS is a square inscribed in the outer circle. It also circumscribes the inner circle touching the point BCDA. What is the ratio of outer circle to the polygon ABCD? Tell me the answer. Tell me the answer. We are looking at the circle and then. So previously we have solved like this, right? Previously we have solved like this. Let's say this is the imaginary square which I'm making. If the first imaginary square has the ratio of 4, area of 4, next will be 2, next will be 5, and the next internal square will be 2, right? So we are looking at the same series. We are looking at the same series which is 4 pi 2. Since the series is 4 pi 2, we are not looking at square versus circle. We are looking at circle versus the square. So we are looking at this value pi by 2, and hence the answer for the given question will be pi by 2. Is this clear to all of you? So we first made the imaginary square 4, first circle pi, next square 2, and you have the answer in front of you. Let me know if you have understood this. You can hit the like button. If you have got the answer, I can get the notification. The only thing which I'm looking at is a response. The only thing which I'm looking at is a response. All of you who are live, it's pi by 2, no? So the series itself was, check the series itself was 4 pi 2. 4 is of a square. This is circle and this is square. This part will be pi by 2, right? Is this clear to all of you? The series itself is 4 pi 2, but 4 is for the first square. So we formed the first imaginary square with the area 4. If the first square is 4, the next internal circle will be pi, and the next subsequent square will be 2. We are looking at the area of the circle versus the polygon. So they are talking about ABCD. Okay. So in that case, okay, if it is the first circle and the first square, the answer would have been pi by 2. If it is first versus next to next square that we are looking at, in that case, possibly the answer is going to be pi by 1. My bad. What I consider to be PQRS, my bad. It's ABCD. For ABCD, the value is going to be pi by 1. All of you are right, my bad. It's going to be pi by 1. I assume the question is about PQRS. No, it's not about PQRS, it's ABCD. So the first square, 4. The next square, 2. And the last square is 1. So it's pi by 1. The answer is pi by 1. All of you are right. With PQRS, it would be pi by 2. With ABCD, it's going to be pi by 1. Perfect. All right. On this note, even if you see a question, this is also a previous management year exam question, a CAT question. It looks lengthy, but it is not lengthy. It is not lengthy. Read the question. A circle is inscribed in the square ABCD, another square PQRS is inscribed inside the circle in such a way that its vertices are on the midpoints of ABCD. It is repeated by inscribing another circle inside PQRS and another square inscribed in the second circle in such a way that the vertex are on the midpoints of PQRS. Going on, it is the same series. It is just the same series that we have got. It is just the same series which we had. It is just the same series which we have had. But the question is, find a ratio of areas, a ratio of all the square versus a ratio of area of the all the circles. All the square versus all the circle. All the squares and all the circles. Even if I consider the first square and first circle, it's going to be 4 pi. If I consider first 2, it's going to be how much? 4 plus 2, 6. And circle will be pi plus pi by 2. It's 6 divided by 3 pi by 2, which is 12 divided by 3 pi, which is as same as 4 pi. So 4 pi is going to remain constant. I repeat, 4 by pi is going to remain constant, whether it is of 1 unit, 2 unit, and infinite unit. The question is infinite. So even in this case also, I repeat, even in this case also, the answer will not change. This is again going to be 4 pi only. If you know the pattern of the series very well, you'll be able to solve the question. So be it a difficult question, that's only about story and the formatting. Rest, it's all simple. You'll be able to solve the question. So be it a difficult question, that's only about story and the formatting. Rest, it's all simple. They are not making a new question. So let's. Perfect. If you have understood this, let's solve this question now. The question says four identical coins are placed. Four identical coins are placed in a square. For each coin, the ratio of area of to the circumference is as same as the ratio of circumference to area. Circumference to area, the value is same. Circumference to area, the value is same. This is going to happen only in one case. This is going to be possible only in one case where the radius is going to be 1. If the radius is 1, pi r square is pi and 2 pi r. So don't consider this case. So I'm saying even if you don't consider the value, right? Just consider the case, nothing to worry about. It's all same. Provided, Jinay, if your concepts are clear and if you're the only couple of things that you have to work on. One, the core fundamentals of math, logical reasoning, data interpretation, and the crux of verbal ability should be known to you. And the only thing that you need to do in the next 2 months is basically about solving as many mock tests as possible and solving all the dozens of previous year papers which are available. So if you solve all the papers from 2000 to 2019, even if you do not know the answers, you can look at the solution and build your approach. Just look at the solution and build your approach. That will give you a perspective of how the question has to be solved and what needs to be done to solve the given question. Right? That is only be possible. That is only going to be possible in this case. Even if you consider this case. So let's say you have one square. In a square, I repeat, in a square you have got one circle. Similarly, what you can do is you can break the given circle in four parts. So what I can see is these are four quarter circles and four smaller square. So the ratio of so the symmetry says the ratio of one square versus one circle. One quarter square versus one quarter circle. They are all 4 pi. They are all simply 4 pi. They are all simple 4 pi. Even if you do this, if you cut the diagram like this, if you cut the diagram like this, so four smaller circle will turn out to be one bada circle, and four smaller square will be one bada square. The value here is also same. So they are talking about find the area of the square which is not being covered by the points. Not covered is this part. Not covered is this part. Not covered is technically is only about this part. If you know the ratio is 4 and pi, the difference of 4 and minus pi will give you the answer very quickly. So provided you know the symmetry of the questions really very well, provided you know the core understanding of the question, provided you know that how the question has to be solved, very well you will be in a shape to solve the question very beautifully, very easily you will be in a shape to crack the given examination in the next 2 months. There are more questions which I want to cover in the upcoming webinar series. So now there's just going to be a regular practice. From tomorrow onwards, you will see regular live sessions coming up on the channel. So people who have not subscribed to the given channel, I request them to subscribe to the given channel so that you get the notification whenever we are live, and you get the intimation. People who have not been added to the WhatsApp night class, in the in the description box, the night class group link has been available there. The notification will be given to you in the night class group also. So whoever is not available and whoever has not been a part of MBAP night class group, make sure you are available. You make yourself comfortable. Make sure you guys are being a part of all the regular updates that MBAP is giving you, so that very well in the next 2 months will give you all the possible guidance to crack the given examination. All right. On this note, I'll take a leave. Tomorrow again, we'll see you next time with a more set of questions for the upcoming examination. If you have any question or feedback, you can put it into the comment box so that I can go through it, and the team is going to help you out with the possible solutions for all the queries that you have got. Thank you so much.